Rocket is the key fintech hub in Lithuania, where top creators and founders build the future of financial technologies and the next generation of sustainable innovations. Acting as a dynamic ecosystem, we provide space for networking, expertise sharing, and cooperation, enabling and contributing to the success stories of the finance, technology, and innovation sectors. During the past years, our hub has established a leading position as the home of fintech and core place for fintech community. Hello here at Rocket Coffee Talks, and despite that in Lithuania it is 4 p.m., probably somewhere in the world it is a bright morning and a perfect time to grab a cup of coffee. So my name is Yeva, I'm a community manager here at Rocket, and today we have a really interesting topic about the fintech exits. As you all know, last month, the global payment service provider SumUp has acquired the core banking system Spacesolute. And SumUp has worked with Spacesolute as a business partner for the past 2 years. So the acquisition was like a natural extension of the partnership. But behind every great business name, every success story, there is a strong and dedicated team with inspiring personalities who lead the company to its success. So today with me, I have two wonderful people, Rocket community members. So it's my pleasure to introduce Sigutė Koncevičiūtė, CEO at SumUp Payments.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. Hey, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, and as well, we have Vytenis Pavalkis, co-founder and CEO at Spacesolute company. Welcome.
Hi, Yeva and Rocket, and thanks for having me.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. So let's start our cozy coffee talk, and I would love to start with the first question for Sigutė. Sigutė, you are, for me, most inspiring fintech female leaders in Lithuania, and could you share your story? How went your journey in fintech world? How did you start it? And a little bit more about the SumUp company.
Sure, Yeva, and thanks for the nice words. I think I'm getting a little bit red. Nevertheless, so my fintech journey started almost 4 years ago. Before that, I worked for several payment institutions, financial institutions here in Lithuania. But for 4 years, I decided to switch my career path a little bit and joined a few fintech companies that I supported through various processes. And SumUp, Lithuanian entity, SumUp EU Payments, we have registered 2 years ago, and I joined the company maybe 2 days after the company was registered, in fact. So we are a licensed e-money institution. We are part of SumUp Group, and our core product is mPOS. I think I have one here. Preparing for my meeting, had it on my table. This is it. So this small, cool machine allows our customers to accept card payments, and we don't have any fixed or hidden fees. It's only percentage per transaction, and the machine is small, remote, and you can use it for many card payment transactions just with one charge. So globally, SumUp has more than 3 million customers in 32 countries. In Lithuania, with our Lithuanian entity, we serve people in 7 European jurisdictions. So the entity itself is not that big, but growing fast. We internally joke that Vilnius team is the fastest growing office in summer family. So that's shortly about myself.
All right, thank you. So probably it's the biggest virtual growing office now in Vilnius. So Sigute, who find who? SumUp find you, or you find SumUp?
I think it was a perfect match, and I will keep the details to myself. But I think we both found, I mean, the company found someone who was really passionate about the products, about the business line, and I really found a place that I love. I mean, I love the team, I love the culture, I love our product. I really do see value in my work. So yeah, so I guess it was a mutual relationship, good relationship from both ends.
All right, thank you. And Vytenis, jumping to you, I see every day at Rocket you running from one meeting room to other, working hard and having a lot of stuff to do. What was your journey, and what was before the Spacesolute? And later on I will just ask more about the Spacesolute itself. So what was your journey in fintech world?
All right. Yeah, so I started as a product manager at SEB, one of the major banks in Lithuania and Nordic region, basically, and that brought me gradually to variety of change management, IT projects in the bank, and absolute highlight of those was a project to replace the bank's old system with a new one, the Oracle FlexCube. So had a great team there, went through hell and high water, and it was probably this major period of transformation to me, like professionally and personally as well. And then followed, then a similar project followed in Luminor Bank, again FlexCube implementation, a series of freelance management consulting projects, and eventually Fintech. And it is during these years that I met majority of Spacesolute founders, actually. So this is to answer your question, what was before Spacesolute and how I ended up in Fintech.
Yeah, so thanks for your answer. I was just listening that you were there to change the old systems, and once you decided that it's not enough to change the old system in the bank, you need to create your own fintech. Yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah, basically, maybe we can dive deeper into that a bit later. Yeah, but you can say so. Like, I think all the founders, we have 4 founders of Spacesolute. All the founders bring the unique perspective from the old, like maybe not old, but major banks in one way or the other, and then having the experience of the fintech community. You have that synergy that helps you to see both sides, and then probably learn from those 2 different sides.
All right. Yeah, actually, there are 4 founders. We can send warm greetings to Alex Gibb, Aurimas Bakas, and Andris Minkevičius. So I'm really happy to know all of you guys. And can we go further about the idea of Spacesolute? I know there is a funny story where the Spacesolute started, and about that room that you are sitting right now with Vytenis. So how did you find each other, all the co-founders, and whom idea it was?
Okay, so well, actually, yes, I'm sitting in the exact room where the company was founded, and it's in Rocket. So the compliments to you. You really bring the great ideas together. Well, we met each other during different phases of our careers, I would say. So during my SCV years, I met with Alex Gibb. Then in Luminor project, I ran into Andrius Minkevičius, another co-founder. Later, Andrius invited me to work together, and as he was hunting for projects for his IT outsourcing business, some of those projects just happened to be in fintech. And that's how we met Aurimas Bakas, yet another co-founder, whose startup WaraPay was our customer at the time. With Andrius and Aurimas, we were implementing various integrational projects in the community. So not the core system delivery, but rather helping the additional integrations those other core systems require. And actually, geography was very interesting. We found ourselves helping to increase access to banking and mobile payments in some African countries. And how our highest profile tender, which did not happen till the end, but it was to enable mobile payments functionality for Vodafone in Zambia. You know, so it sounds exotic, but eventually all the attention turned to the EU, where you know, the efforts of central banks to make the financial services market more accessible to smaller players started to bear fruit, and those smaller players, they needed something much smaller as a core banking solutions, not on the scale of FlexiCube or Temenos. And we knew from experience how it is difficult to for those financial institutions to manage multiple vendors in those core banking implementation. So we found that Spacesolute, listening to the signals from the market, actually Aurimas was getting the signals from the market and questions from customers. Well, maybe you do not give us service, maybe you give us the whole platform instead, because we want to play in that market as well. And that's how we founded Spacesolute, to provide not only the core system, that light system that we have on offer, but also the integrations and partnerships that I needed to fully launch it. And we utilize our network and you know, the brilliant minds in the fintech community for those partnerships and to making those integrations happen.
All right, thank you. Somehow in my mind, I remember these all four co-founders that you mentioned, always all around the Rocket or the Rise at that time. So somehow you all look very familiar, and sometimes I even was thinking that you meet each other here, but you know each other before. For a lot of time.
Yeah, actually, since 2005, 2011, something like that. At least for a decade.
All right. So jumping from the fintech startups to the giants. So good. I have a question for you. Like more and more fintech giants are looking towards Lithuania from all over the world. And in your opinion, what made it so attractive for some in some up case? And maybe you can mention the most important details or your expectations, and if everything met your expectations here in Lithuania. You said the office is expanding, and it was really good signs from the regulatory side. So could you tell us more on that?
Yeah, sure. So the main reason why SumUp has started looking for new license in Europe and new geography where we could kind of get that license and build an office was Brexit. I will not lie here. I mean, I guess Brexit impacted a lot of financial institutions and pushed us to reevaluate the plans for the future growth. But to be honest, Lithuania was just one of the countries, one of the geographies considered. And so why was Vilnius and Lithuania chosen? I guess it was a combination of reasons. I would not distinguish one single reason. So definitely licensing process in terms of efficiency and speed did matter because we needed a license and we wanted to get one as soon as possible. So that's one of the things. Then talking about regulation, you mentioned it correctly that proactive regulator and approachable regulator was very important. Honestly, I mean, I have experience working with licensing processes in other jurisdictions. Things like newcomer program that we have here in Lithuania, I mean, I haven't seen it anywhere else. Even simple things like being able to call the regulator to ask for advice, to meet, to present your plans, these type of things. It's not something you can find in any European country. So it really did matter. And even today, to be honest, I'm still receiving, compliment type of comments that in Lithuania, the process of getting a license, it wasn't an easy one. It's still a lot of work is associated with it, but it was smooth. In other words, it really progressed and moved the way we envisioned. Other factors, so definitely ecosystem, and I guess we're gonna talk about the partnership between SumUp and Spacesolute a little bit later, but I guess that's the best proof that the ecosystem is important and it can evolve into much closer cooperation and partnerships, as in this example. And last but not least, the team that we were able to build here and the talent pool. Again, I'm not wanting to say that Lithuania is, a market with zero competition in terms of staff or labor, but in terms of the quality of people that you can find to partner to hire, it's really on a higher end. To be honest, I'm very proud that majority of people in our Lithuanian office, they work not with Lithuanian entity only. They are resources that support global or at least European level of initiatives as SumUp. So I guess, combination of various things: regulatory, staff, speed, support, system, ecosystem itself.
All right. So thank you very much. It's really nice to hear those beautiful words about the ecosystem, about its support, and I'm happy that the cooperation between SumUp and Spacesolute in these good conditions happened. So, as Sigutė, you already mentioned about the acquisition of Spacesolute. I know you wasn't directly involved on that project, but I want to ask more about the all cooperations that you have. For example, we know that you acquired software provider GodTill, and that followed a Paris-based Tiller in February 2021, and the last news about the Spacesolute. So could you tell us more about the criteria for such partnerships, and for example, why it was Spacesolute, and what are the goals of such partnerships?
Okay, that's a good and complex question. So maybe first of all about the strategy of mergers and acquisitions. So I would say that there are 3 points that we consider, or 3 strategies why particular M&A initiatives are discussed or evaluated. So first would be if we can gain a market share. So in other words, if strategy would help us to partner with a company that operates in our existing markets with products similar to ours, and we would just expand our customer base. Second thing, or second strategy would be expanding into other markets or segments. So again, practically speaking, we would be looking into a company that delivers similar product to what we already do, but in other geographies or in other segments of a market. So GodTill and Tiller would be good examples of that, because the partnership with these 2 great companies that join SumUp family will allow us to expand further in the gastronomy sector. And last but not least would be product expansion. So in other words, we would be looking into companies and partnering with companies that allow us to expand existing product portfolio. And definitely, Spacesolute partnership would be would be a primary example of that kind of strategy. But also important to mention that we don't consider M&As, so mergers and acquisitions, as main business. It's usually this type of synergies and partnership involved from something from our business strategy or from existing partnerships. Again, with Spacesolute, we had already an existing and very successful business relationship for years. So I think with Dennis will maybe add up later on here, but it also naturally evolved into this direction. But yeah, talking about strategy, three main things that we consider.
All right, thank you very much. And of course, I have a question for Vytenis to add on. Actually, Vytenis, could you share the quite funny story? How did you get to know about the proposal, about these news that SumUp would love to buy the company?
Or rather, how I did not get the news.
Or have you did not?
Yeah. So in August 2020, so more than half a year ago, I went on vacation, long overdue, and the partners told me, "Come on, I mean, man, everything will be fine. Just go, switch off, and that's it. We'll handle that." And what do you think? Like on the second day of my vacation, as I found out later, Alex and Aurimas got a call from SumUp, to be more specific, from the corporate development people, with a proposal to sell the company. So, yeah, since then it took us like 6 months to close the agreement, actually, and during that period we went through legal, technical, security, data protection due diligence, involving, top law firms, external auditors. So you may think, or expect that you are doing the things right most of the time, hopefully. But when you have external experts signing off on that, it brings a whole new level of validation and acknowledgement, I think. So in general, that was obviously the moment to celebrate. So
did your teammates tell during the holidays about the good news, or they kept waiting?
They kept waiting. Yeah, they kept waiting until I came back.
What's wrong could happen, yeah. And Vytenis, talking more about the Spacesolute company, what happened until the point of exit? What were your strategic priorities, ambitions, goals? You were raising like a capital, focusing on the business development, or just, I don't know, scaling your infrastructure. So how did it go until that point?
I think that as most smart SaaS companies, we were bootstrapping during initial years, and what it means basically, we're delivering for our first customers, then gradually building our sales pipeline on top of those results to secure revenue, and that was the initial strategy, like to grow, but to grow from our own resources, and we actually continue being a very agile company, iterating on that single solution that we build, the core system, but building only what customers require, and in a way that benefits all the customers. So it's also another part of the strategy that we do not create like different instances for different customers that would require the very focused like maintenance, like very specific specialized maintenance for specific customers. We build one system that benefits all. and that means naturally that the more customers we have, the wider like variety of features becomes available, and yeah, so we aim to be that, as I mentioned before, that single vendor that brings know-how, partnerships, and pre-existing integrations, so that our customers can save time at least on that.
Right.
And speaking about the funding, so that is a good part of the question. Actually, once so it so happened that once we had enough customers to sustain ourselves, right? And our system was mature enough for this high-speed acceleration in sales. Then Alex and Aurimas found 70 Ventures, our key investor, and who really helped with that. And then another one, Open Circle Capital, joined, angel investors joined, and basically we raised our first capital more than 2 years after Spacesolute was founded, only. So this acceleration, which started in late 2019, that it then kind of propelled us to that orbit of opportunities, which brought SumUp offer, among other things.
All right. So just to summarize all your answer, you told us about the due diligence process that take quite a time. And so, how does it take from a handshake deal to a final agreement?
It took 6 months, as I said. I mean, yeah, it took 6 months.
That sounds quite fast, actually. Well, different opinions. All right, so I have like a big question that probably startups would love to ask. When is the right time to exit? Probably there is no universal answer for that, but what was the right time for Spacesolute, and maybe why?
Mm-hmm. So, well, I would probably like to start a bit differently. Like, we all love what we do, like in Spacesolute, founders and also our amazing team, and we aim to build a great company. So from the like. In the long term, like the selling was always an option, of course. We just did not expect this option would present itself so quickly. And I'm not sure that it's even the right answer. I mean, it's even the right way to say that we will somehow looked for that exit, or that we somehow emphasize the exit as such. We were just exploring the different paths to further grow the company. So basically, we were raising the capital in 2020, summer 2020. So Alex Aurimas was working a lot on that, and we were comparing different offers from investors, and it just happened so that this option from SumUp, it offered the best way to continue our expansion, to continue improving our product, and also came with additional benefits for shareholders, of course. So, so I believe, our exit, as you call it, it does not follow the usual textbook scenarios on when to sell. I mean, it was just the best option to further accelerate our growth, and we, I mean, Spacesolute continues as Spacesolute with all the team. We grow our team, and we continue serving our customers. So,
yeah, I'm really happy for the growth of the team, because that happens that Spacesolute are still at Rocket, so we can see that rapidly grow. And yeah, talking about the team, They look much happier these days after such a long marathon has ended. And there is an interesting question about the brand. So if the brand and the team will remain the same, what are the plans here? And how do you find this transition personally? What changes?
All right. Yeva, we are actually an agile company, so we are running sprints, not marathons.
All right, I need to improve here.
Yeah, just a short note. But we can continue running those sprints actually as Spacesolute before the existing team and for all the people who stay with us and will join us in the future, because we are expanding the team really rapidly, hiring currently. So we also have ambitious growth targets, amazing new features on the roadmap. We look forward to new markets beyond the European Union, where we work now mostly with our customers. So and those goals are aligned with SumUp. So as Spacesolute, we continue. It's even strange to say that, but it's how it is. And personally, I'm really happy for the team who became basically overnight not just employees of Spacesolute, but also members of the global SumUp team in those 32 countries. And you can imagine it opens enormous opportunities for personal growth for each of them, new career paths, and also allows us as a company, as a team, to focus even more on building what we love for the benefit of our customers with that strong backing from SumUp.
All right, so Sigute, just a short question for you. Are you planning to connect the offices between SumUp and Spacesolute here in Vilnius?
Sooner or later is something that we definitely can look into. I guess now we are all connected through more or less similar means as we are connected today, when a lot of people are remote. But as Vytenis mentioned, SumUp is really a global company. So to be honest, locations doesn't matter so much. It's not only about the team here in Vilnius. From both, I mean, Spacesolute or SumUp Lithuanian side. It's also about all our stakeholders and colleagues that we have in all the European offices and also in other offices outside Europe. So yeah, to be honest, we are not actively looking into this. I guess now it's a matter of accomplishing our priorities that we have for this year. I don't know, Vytenis, maybe you have something to add, but I guess it's still.
We're actually with us. Yeah, thanks, Sigute. We're actually speaking with Yeva just yesterday what all this change, with quarantine means for the future of office life and how it will change. Because I personally think that there will be no way you can continue telling people just come to the office because it's your. The working week starts. It will definitely not be like this. But we are planning to move to some kind of office to accommodate a growing team. But I think it will be very interesting to look and to follow the global examples how those new offices should look like. Given
like
the
new a co-working spaces, for example,
Maybe, but as a core system provider, we have some security restrictions, like how we need to
ensure the safety.
Separate different roles, but we'll see. It's interesting times.
All right. And Sigute, as you saw the ecosystem from different angles, different corners, What does Spacesolute exit tell us about the startup ecosystem in Lithuania? Is it more mature? Is it still growing? What is your opinion on that?
It's okay. My opinion is, yeah, I think it's still growing, getting closer to mature, but still growing. But also, I think this partnership is a great example. I mean, great example and proof of large fintechs building successful partnerships with companies established here in Lithuania. Part of Lithuanian ecosystem, and in fact the partnerships are built, as Vytenis said, not because of the willingness to expand in Lithuania. The SumUp and Spacesolute, the pipeline that we have while working together to accomplish something, it doesn't relate to Lithuania only or only this region. So I guess it really does show how this ecosystem can scale and scale globally. So yeah, I guess it's much closer to mature, but yeah, definitely there are always opportunities for growth, and I think we haven't reached the peak of ecosystem involvement yet.
Yeah, I believe that too, that we haven't reached the peak. And Vytenis, maybe you have something to add about the maturity of the fintech ecosystem here in Lithuania.
Mm-hmm. I would not say that our one example shows somehow maturity of the ecosystem. But in general, what I wanted to say is that probably our case proves just once again that the products created in Lithuania can reach those global markets and stay relevant there. And personally, I think that we just follow into the footsteps of other great companies, startups, and in this, at the same time we are paying back, like to those who will follow us. We can teach something, share experiences. You know, always happy to do that. So it's like a joint success. I mean, which resulted from generally our country's openness to innovations, openness of the Bank of Lithuania, what Sigutė mentioned earlier, and all the ecosystem, which continues creating, new stuff, amazing things.
All right. So on these positive vibes, I have just one probably last question. If we will not have any questions from the people that are watching us. So Sigutė, Vytenis, you both were or still are Rocket members for some time. Could you share your personal point of view? What is the value for the fintech company to be a part of such a community, and how do you feel personally about being a member of such a community? So let's start, Sigutė, maybe with you.
I'm glad to be a member of community. I miss Rocket now when I'm working from home. I miss the coffee and cakes, but jokes aside, I miss Rocket as well, not only coffee and cakes. Yeah, in short, I mean, definitely, yes, especially if you are only starting your journey, that sense of community that you can get in Rocket, you will not easily find it anywhere else. And when I say community, it's not only about these events that we are having today and just chatting about various topics. It's about general support, advice, these type of things. So for us, it was great time, and we are still very proud and happy to be members of the community and joyfully join these events and chat with you guys. So yeah, hopefully back we'll be able to visit you guys soon and maybe have a cup of coffee together. But yeah, definitely yes.
So can't wait for that. So always waiting for you here. And as you can see, the lights are going down. So Vytenis, what are your thoughts on being a Rocket member?
Yeah, so apart from amazing support from all the Rocket team, administration team, you've been our sometimes HR, even not only the providing the roof over the head, but also providing the support, kind of the roles which we did not have initially as a company. We met some of our first customers in Rocket. So through those events and by being members of Rocket with our customers, we've done some deals and increase our revenue even because of that. And also through this cooperation with Swedbank, we are able to even to test with them together with the IT department some of the things in our system, so they also work as an indirect colleagues for us. So, I mean, events, coffee, of course, all the things that really contribute to all this atmosphere of innovation and vibe, So.
All right. So on that positive note, with that wide smile, just one wish for everyone, guys. The conditions are perfect. So scale globally, and thanks for our wonderful guests, Sigutė Kuncevičiūtė, CEO at SumUp, Vytenis Pavalkis, co-founder and CEO at Spacesolute. Thank you guys for sharing your personal insights and your personal journey steps. All the best luck in the future for you and for all of you who are watching us. If you joined us later, you can always find our coffee chat on YouTube or on Facebook. Follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter, and hopefully see you next time. So have a nice evening.
Thank you so much for having us. It was good to speak.
Thanks. Yep.